Well, hello there! Here we have the Xbox One S, which was a refreshed and slightly improved Xbox One for a cheaper price. But the question is, does the Xbox One S remain a viable option to be playing on as of today? Or do you almost have to get its bigger brothers, the Xbox Series S and X? So, without further ado, can the Xbox One S still be considered as affordable gaming, or is it time to upgrade? Let's dive right in. We'll get straight to the point. How does the Xbox One S, once considered the most price-worthy console, perform as of today? And is it still capable as it once was? Well, you can take it in two ways. The first one is that it's just as capable as it once was. It has a larger game library than ever before, newer software, and of course the Xbox Game Pass, which includes loads of games for $16.99 a month. The other way you can look at this is that the Xbox One S isn't as capable as it once was. And why is that? Well, unfortunately, Microsoft decided to cut their upcoming games on all the Xbox One versions. For instance, this means no Starfield on the Xbox One, which indicates that Xbox One days are starting to pass by. But at least you can still stream the newer games that are exclusive to the Series S and X on the Xbox One via remote play, so there's that. And even if this console, as well as the One X, isn't as old as the original Xbox One released all the way back in 2013, they are all going to stop receiving newer first-party games, which is kinda sad, especially for the One X due to it still being a beefy console. Check out this video here in the top right corner to see how the Xbox One X performs after you finish at this video.
But Olga bro, this console is 7 years old, stop receiving first-party games, and it's slow and sluggish. Why would anyone buy this?
Well, I'm glad you asked. The Xbox One S is known for its affordability, even years after its release. And just seeing the cheap prices these consoles are going for now, no wonder why they are still so popular. With a wide range of games available and for the most part a completely acceptable performance, it still provides a great gaming experience without breaking the bank. Even for a much lower price compared to a Series S, the One S has one major advantage. Well, except for the price. And that advantage is the disk drive. If you're really into disc games, like me, or even Blu-rays and you don't want to spend a fortune, then the One S can be a considerable choice. Now let's go over to some performance. How snappy is the home screen and how does it perform in games? Due to its older architecture and a hard drive instead of an SSD, it is no surprise that it's way slower than the series consoles. And if you have the One S and you play a lot, or if you're planning to regularly play on the One S, then the upgrade to the Series S or X is a huge upgrade. Oh, and on the One S, you're missing out on the quick resume feature, so when you want to swap games, you'll have to fully load it again. You can swap the hard drive to an SSD to bump up the speed, however, it'll still be far away from being as fast as the Series consoles. Especially when we start to look into the CPU and RAM. The Series S has an 8-core CPU that runs up to 3.6 GHz, which is the same as the Series X, while the One S also has 8 cores, it falls short in the clock speed at only 1.75 GHz. For the RAM, the Series S has a respectable 10 GB of GDDR6 memory, while the One S has 8 GB, but it's only DDR3 modules, which are relatively old and are starting to show its age by now. This means that the One S lacks in multitasking. It also doesn't have Dolby Vision and Atmos when playing games, which the series consoles have, and that's improving the image and sound quality. The Xbox One S can run games at 1080p with 60 FPS. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one little detail. Let's retake that. The Xbox One S can run games up to 1080p with 60 FPS, while some games can hit that threshold, such as Forza Motorsport 7, which in my experience is a fantastic game to play on the One S. And that's most likely thanks to the incredible optimization. Others don't even come close. For instance, Red Dead Redemption 2 runs at 864p with 30 FPS, which is much lower compared to the series consoles. Even the One X can play this game at 4K 30 FPS without any hassle, which looks amazing even to this day. Here's a quick graphics comparison between the One S and the One X. The One X is running on a cinematic video mode to put out more realistic colors, and as soon as we zoom into this tunnel, we can clearly see a night and day difference. Now that we have a hint of how the Xbox One S performs, Let's briefly take a look at its game library. And yeah, as of speaking, it's more or less the same as the Series S and X library, with only some exceptions. A game I want to play but can't is Microsoft Flight Simulator. If I want to play it on the Xbox One consoles, then I have to stream it. And as we all know, Microsoft is going to kill off future first-party games, and it's most likely only a matter of time until other studios follow along. The reason behind this is so that the developers can focus on optimizing their titles for the latest hardware, so the games can reach its fullest potential. But regardless, you can still play games from the original Xbox and the Xbox 360 on each of the Xbox One models, making the One S a relatively powerful console for those older games if you're into that. You can also pay for Xbox Game Pass to get access to hundreds of great games each month. And along with that, you of course also have a disk drive for playing physical games. And the cherry on top is that you also have access to the Microsoft Store with deals appearing every now and then. So how you want to play on a One S isn't going to be an issue. And before I give a rundown if the Xbox One S is still capable as of today, I believe its design and ports are briefly worth mentioning. The Xbox One S is the lightest out of the Xbox One models, coming in at 2.72 kilograms. Still, that's a hefty boy compared to the Series S 1.93 kilograms. But nevertheless, I really do like its design. It's simplistic, a bit boring, but still looks modern. But oh boy, when compared to the One X, the One S feels cheaply made. Why? Because of this. Just a little detail I wanted to point out, but still a really solid design with an alright build quality. And for the port selection, it's actually quite good. You have the same ports as a Series S, plus an additional HDMI in port as well as an IR port. So, here's the rundown. Is the Xbox One S still a viable option for you? Well, it depends on your priorities. If you're on a strict budget, looking for a vast game library, a disk drive, decent graphics along with an okay performance, then I'd say the Xbox One S still meets the requirements for affordable gaming even as of today. Especially if you already have physical games for the Xbox One. But no matter how, the clock is ticking, and in a couple of years, you'll most likely want to upgrade console. Otherwise, if you're looking for a bit more power for only a bit more money, then I would recommend the Xbox One X, even if the One X isn't going to be supported for much longer. But if you're looking for the One S, you can actually find the One X for only a couple bucks more, if not even the same price. And the performance gap between the consoles are huge, especially in the graphics, as it can hit up to native 4K 60 FPS. However, if you're seeking the latest architecture and technology, it may be time to consider upgrading to the Series S or X. I'd recommend the Series S if you want to be future-proof, if you only play digital games, and if you want as much performance as possible for a lower price. And as I said in my last Xbox video, if you want the best of both worlds, go with the Series X, but your wallet will beg for mercy. All of this said, only get the One S if you're on a strict budget. Otherwise you're better off with the One X if you prioritize graphics for a low price. Or else you have the Series S or X, which is probably your best bet. I'll drop some links in the description below of where you can get each console, so check those out if you're interested. And with that, thanks for watching, please leave your thoughts about the Xbox One S and start some discussions in the comment section below. Also consider to like the video and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. It's highly appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video.